All right, let's jump right into this. We're going to break down something called the endowment effect. It's this fascinating psychological bias that makes us overvalue anything we feel we own. And more importantly, we'll look at how you can use it strategically.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. We've got 4 parts. First, we'll define what the endowment effect even is. Then, we'll dig into the psychology, why it works. After that, we'll get practical with a framework for putting it to use. And finally, we'll talk about mastering the application, doing it right. Let's dive in.
Okay, first things first, let's lay the groundwork. What exactly is the endowment effect? At its core, it's actually pretty simple. The second we feel like something belongs to us, its value just explodes in our own minds. And let's be clear, this has nothing to do with its actual objective worth. It's all about this powerful psychological switch that flips the moment we feel that sense of ownership.
And look, this isn't some made-up marketing gimmick. Oh no, this is a well-documented principle from the Nobel laureate Richard Thaler himself. He actually built it on the incredible work of Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. So what we're talking about here is real, hardwired human psychology. So that begs the question, right? Why is this feeling of ownership so incredibly powerful? Well, let's pop the hood and look at the psychological engine that's really driving this whole thing.
Okay, so here's the game plan. Strategically speaking, you want to shift a customer's entire mindset from one of evaluation to one of defense. Think about it. Before they own something, they're skeptical. They're looking for reasons to buy. But once you establish that feeling of ownership, they completely flip. Now they're looking for reasons not to lose what they feel is already theirs. It's a total fundamental shift in how they see things.
And that shift is powered by something absolutely fundamental: loss aversion. This is the real engine behind the endowment effect. We are just biologically wired to feel the pain of losing something much, much more intensely than the joy of gaining something of equal value.
And we're not talking about a small difference here. The scale of this bias is massive. Research shows that the psychological punch of losing is about 2.5 times stronger than the pleasant feeling of gaining. That is a huge psychological lever, and if you understand it, you can work with it.
Now, there's a really cool piece of this puzzle called the IKEA effect. You've probably felt this yourself. It's this idea that the more effort we put into something, the more we value it. You know, when you spend a Saturday building that bookshelf, it stops being just a piece of furniture. It becomes your bookshelf, your creation, and you value it way more because you put your own sweat into it. All right, that's enough theory. It's fascinating, but let's get down to brass tacks. Let's pull out the blueprint. How do you actually put this powerful principle to work? We can break it down into 4 main strategies to really trigger the endowment effect. You can think of each one as a unique path to building that all-important feeling of ownership in your customer's mind.
Okay, this matrix right here, this is your playbook. It lays everything out super clearly. You see the strategy on the left, how to actually do it in the middle, and the specific psychological trigger it pulls on the right. So, for example, a freemium or trial offer. That gives the user what we call hard ownership, because the product becomes part of their daily life. Interactive customization, bam, that's the IKEA effect we just talked about. This is how you stop guessing and start building a real systematic approach.
So let's get even more tactical. These are things you can literally start thinking about today. You want to accelerate that first touch? Get something in their hands, even if it's a loss leader. Always frame things around the potential loss. Don't lose your discount. Encourage personalization at every turn. And use things like money-back guarantees. That risk reversal makes people comfortable enough to try it. And once they do, the endowment effect can start to work its magic.
All right, last section, and this one's really important. Let's talk about the nuance here. Mastering the application, because this is a powerful tool, and if you use it the wrong way, it can seriously backfire. So, how do you do it right? Number 1, you have to be ethical. You can't fall into the hostage trap where you make it impossible for someone to leave. That just creates resentment. And you have to remember, the endowment effect is an enhancer, not a magic fix. Your product still has to be good to begin with. And finally, that feeling of ownership, it has to be earned. It has to come from real, valuable interaction, not just a gimmick.
Let's look at a perfect real-world example, the SaaS success loop. Think about a 30-day free trial for a project management tool. Over those 30 days, the user invests tons of time setting up their projects, their workflows. That's the IKEA effect right there. By day 29, that software isn't just a tool anymore. It's a repository, a vault of all their work. The thought of canceling doesn't just mean losing the software, it means losing all that effort. That's the endowment effect and loss aversion working together in perfect harmony. You know, the advertising legend Rory Sutherland put it perfectly. He said, "Value can be created in the mind every bit as much as it can be created in the factory." And that just nails it, doesn't it? The value we perceive is just as real, just as powerful as the physical thing itself.
And this is a great reminder from Daniel Kahneman, really one of the godfathers of this whole field. He said, while humans like to think of themselves as logical, most decisions are influenced by emotion, habit, and bias. We have to remember we're not just appealing to someone's spreadsheet-making logical brain, we're connecting with the deeper things that actually drive their choices.
And this final thought from Brian Tracy really ties a bow on the whole strategy. People decide emotionally and then justify logically. That's it. That's the key. Your first job is to create that emotional feeling of ownership. Make the customer feel like this product is already theirs. Once you've done that, don't worry. Their logical brain will come up with all the justifications it needs to make it official.